So, Ray, how has your 30 years of nursing evolved from a standpoint of leadership and being able to positively influence change in healthcare?
I spent a lot of time reflecting in my younger years about how can I have a greater impact in nursing. I love my career for 17 and a half years as a bedside nurse in trauma, but I realized early on that this is my silo of work. I need to be able to have a greater reach and impact nursing in a bigger way. And so my mother was a third grade teacher, and my brother is a seventh grade autistic teacher. He teaches autistic children, and I guess teaching is just innate. And so I was teaching all the new graduate nurses as they were onboarding into the trauma unit. And I said to myself, I think I want to go into teaching. And from there, I realized that the reach is greater.
Well, let's go a little bit deeper about your upbringing and how that's influenced your nursing practice, but also how it's made you realize that personalization should just be a non-negotiable, shouldn't it?
It should. Absolutely. Absolutely. So my father joined, my upbringing, my father joined the U.S. Navy in 1963. And back then, immigrants from the Philippines were only allowed to be butlers, stewards to the U.S. naval officers. And from there, he did it because he saw opportunity, and he had 12 brothers and sisters and a mother who was a widow. And he did it to help support them. Now you can imagine multi-generations, right? There were almost 10 people living in the home. Compassion and respect for each other was needed. I learned that very, very early on. And that has really translated into my nursing practice innately.
So why is it important, Ray, to think outside of the framework traditionally taught in nursing school?
We need to adapt the current framework that's being taught in nursing education of policy, procedure, and all of the line by line cookbook menu items that we teach our students. We need to adapt it and adopt compassion and caring to really help the personalization and putting individual background, individual experiences at the center of that work for that patient's sake. Remember, we're in the business of holistic healing.
So how can personalization actually empower the nursing profession?
There'll be a very dire need for nurses across the nation. And it's important for us to really take into consideration that the individual, the families are at the center of everything we do. And honestly, we need to be able to listen, and that takes time. In order to be holistic healers and looking at the environment, the individual, the family, backgrounds and practices, that takes time. It takes a lot of time.